Hello children, this is chapter 1 of science, grade 8, named crop production and management. This chapter deals with the different types of agricultural practices, methods to follow while producing different types of crops and various ways of harvesting as well. Here we are also going to learn different ways of managing crop production. The following list of topics are covered in this chapter. Different types of crops, their favorable climatic conditions, nutritional requirements, traditional and modern methods of agricultural harvesting and storing methods. So let us learn what is agriculture. The science that deals with the cultivation of crops and rearing of animals for the human use is called as agriculture, and when we grow plants of the same kind on a large scale, then they are said to be as crops. Now, depending upon the climatic conditions like temperature, humidity, rainfall, crops are broadly classified into two groups. They are the Kharif crops and the Rabi crops. Kharif crops are sown in rainy season and generally in the month of June and harvested in September. Some examples of Kharif crops are paddy, soybean, groundnut, corn, sugarcane, cotton, etc. Rabi crops. These are grown in winter season and basically from the month of October and harvested in the month of March. Examples of Rabi crops are wheat, oat, chickpea, mustard, almond, broccoli and many more. Now, let us learn about the agricultural practices of crop production. These are preparation of soil, sowing, adding manure and fertilizers, irrigation, protecting from weeds, harvesting and storage. So, first let us learn preparation of soil. In this, the soil is plowed and tilled to loosen the soil. This further helps the roots to penetrate deep so as to breathe easily, which helps in the growth of earthworms and microorganisms present in the soil. Not only that, the seeds of the previous crops also gets exposed to the top and eaten away by birds and insects. Talking about not only seeds, leftover twigs, roots of the previous crops also gets exposed and are being easily removed. It also exposes harmful microbes to the sun. Ploughing also helps to bring nutrients to the top. This can be done with the help of a plough. From the picture, as you can see, this is how a plough looks like. This is used for ploughing and tilling the soil. A hoe. Hoe is basically used for ploughing as well as weeding. Weeding we are going to learn in the later section. And nowadays we use cultivators. Cultivators is helpful not only for ploughing but also for tilling the soil. After ploughing, the next step is to sow the seeds. Traditionally, sowing used to be done by using a funnel drawn by animals. As you can see, seeds are filled in the funnel which passes down the pipes which have sharp ends. The seeds are placed there. Because of this, seeds are not covered by the soil and also there is uneven distribution of seeds. Nowadays, we use seed drill. This is how a seed drill looks like. As you can see, they have sharp ends and thereby the seeds are being dropped at each end while it is being pulled by the animal. This tool sows the seeds uniformly and there is no competition between the saplings for nutrients, space and water. Not only that, seeds are also covered by soil, preventing the loss from the birds and insects. So, from the picture you can see these are the two ways in which seeding is done in today's time. Sometimes because of continuous growth of crops, soil loses its nutrients and then we need to add them in the form of manure or in the form of fertilizers. Manure. This is an organic matter obtained from plant and animal waste. This is prepared in the field by the farmers in open pits. Sometimes earthworms are also added to fasten the process and this process is called as vermicomposting. Addition of manure makes the soil porous and also the water holding capacity increases. As you can see, this is how manuring is done in today's time. By this, what happens is when you manure the crops by using manure, manures have nutrients which are not nutrient specific, that means they are not completely rich in one specific nutrient, and the time of absorption by the roots is comparatively more when compared to fertilizers. So, let us see about fertilizers. Fertilizers on the other hand are prepared in factories in such a way that they can easily be absorbed by the plants and farmers get a better yield at the end. But using fertilizers in the long run pollutes the soil. After adding manure or fertilizers or both, the next important agricultural practice is to water the field. This is called as irrigation. This is done to ensure proper growth, development of flowers, fruits and also seeds. Nutrients gets dissolved in the water and gets absorbed by the roots and get transported to all the parts of the plant. There are some traditional methods of irrigation where either cattle or human labor were used. These methods were cheap but not that efficient. So, the first picture you can see, this is the picture of a moat, a pulley system where the water is drawn from the wells and supplied to the field. This is chain pump. In this you can see the water is drawn from the nearby canals and being supplied to the field. This is dhekli where the water is drawn from the well and supplied to the field. Here you can see it's called the Rahat method. Here the use of animal is being used for supplying water to the fields. All these traditional methods were not that efficient when compared to the modern methods in today's time. So, let us see what are the modern methods. Now, we basically follow all the modern techniques to ensure that the wastage of water is being reduced. The most popular ones are the sprinkler system and the drip system. In sprinkler system, as you can see, it gets sprinkled on the crop as if it is raining. This technique is basically used for uneven lands where the water distribution happens evenly. Drip system. In this, as you can see, the water falls drop by drop at the root level, thereby preventing the wastage of water. This is done basically in those areas where they have a water shortage problem. Along with these practices, this is also, as you can see, this is also one picture of drip irrigation method. Now, along with these practices, weeding also is an important practice. Weeds are unwanted plants which grow along with the normal crops. These are to be taken out of the field from time to time, or else they compete for nutrients, sunlight, water and space with the normal crops and affect their growth. So, we need to remove them manually or by using chemicals called as weedicides. Here you can see a person spraying weedicides manually into a field. This method of removing weeds is called as weeding. The most important practice which the farmer eagerly waits for is harvesting. Let us learn about harvesting. Harvesting is cutting of the crops when they are fully ready. This is either done manually or a harvester. After the collection of the grain seeds are threshed and winnowed using a machine. Now, these grains are sun-dried to reduce the moisture content in them, and if not dried properly, they may get spoiled by microorganisms and lose their capacity to germinate. Large amounts of grain is usually stored in silos. This is how a silo looks like. These are large containers. These are called as silos or granaries. These are used to protect from pests like rats and insects. So, when you store them in these silos, it gets protected from invasion of rats and insects. Whereas dried neem leaves can be used to store food grains at home. So, in this chapter we have seen the various steps of crop production. Similarly, animals are also reared at home at farms on a large scale and is called animal husbandry. Thank you.